morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. Welcome to Arise. My name is Oladimeji Oladele, and I'm your host today. I am particularly excited because I have great news coming for you. Now, you might be wondering, this is not the typical Arise studios that you see. Yes, you are so right. And I'm going to give you the 411 when we come back. But before we come back, the word of the week today is taken from Romans 8:31, which says, if God be for us, who can be against us? It doesn't matter who's against you. That person cannot win, or that situation cannot win if God is for you. So I want to enjoin you this week to make sure that you are on the side of God and God is on your side, because if that happens, nobody can be against you. Now, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back, and I'm going to open the big reveal why I'm standing here in a convenience store. Don't go anywhere, and we'll be right back. God bless you.
Have you heard? Have you heard?
Have you heard?
Have you heard?
Have you heard?
Introducing the TKP Food Mart.
TKP Food Mart is a convenience store located at 5403 East 5th Street, Katy, Texas 77493. It serves the old Katy community, nearby schools, residential communities, and commercial and business establishments with daily needs like snacks, beverages, bread and bakery products, dairy, energy drinks, Caribbean and African foods, communion elements, religious books and souvenirs, and limited range of household goods will be available at the store. Operation hours. The grand opening of TKP Food Mart is on the 5th of March 2023. Be there.
Welcome back, viewers. Like I said, I am so excited. Two wonderful things are happening today. Today, to begin with, we're having the open mic section. We haven't had that in a while. And in the open mic section, we're going to be reviewing two books written by Bumi Adeniro. Now, the second big thing happening today is the opening of the TKP Food Mart. Yes, you heard that right. TKP Food Mart here in the corner of East 5th Street and Drexel, here in Katy, Texas 77493. God has blessed the King's Palace with this wonderful, 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 and amazing food mart, and we want you to be part of it. The neighbors have been so excited. They've been popping in and out of the store. When are you opening? When are you opening? I can tell you for sure today we're opening at 11:30 right after the second service. That's the grand opening. That's when we're going to have this place dedicated, and everybody can come in here to get your African food, your Caribbean food, your Hispanic food, everything you can think of having in a convenience store. We have it right here. Let's take a tour of the store real quick. Again, we're setting up. We're getting ready to start the dedication right after the second service. As you can see, we have your household items and personal care stuff here. A lot of towels, a lot of napkins, eggs. We have milk, chips, a lot of chips. Yes, the children love chips. I love chips. Your favorite Lay's, we have it here. It's right here. More chips, more chips. You have your drinks, just a variety of drinks, from your sodas, beverages, Coke, Fanta, Zero Coke, Zero Sprite, all the things you can think of. Now, this is very good because we have it's called palm oil, right? That's what we call it here. Palm oil or red oil. You have your rice, you have yam, we have Vitamalt, for those of you that like Vitamalt. Ramen, you can't go wrong with ramen noodles. Oh, y'all college students, this is where to get your stuff from. Ramen noodles. I lived up ramen in college, so I know what I'm talking about. You have your beans, your honey beans. Some people call it oloyin, which is great. You have your Gary. Can't go wrong. Ijebu Gary. Awesome. More snacks, your milk. Right over there, you have your condiments, you have your spices. It's just going to be amazing. The neighborhood, we're so excited. You have your ice cream stand. We have your ice in case you want to get ice. More drinks again. But in the meantime, I'm going to get my favorite here. Oh, boy, can't go wrong. It's chilled. Vitamalt. Can't go wrong at all. And let's see what else I'm going to get. Doritos. Ugh. Did I forget to mention that we also have suya, or some of you might call it barbecue? Yes, we have suya. We're gonna have rice. We're gonna have pastries. We're gonna have meat pie. We're gonna have sausage. Everything you can think of in a convenience store and much more. All right, we're gonna try to check out here. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm good. Good morning. Welcome to TKP Food Mart.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Again, we're so excited that this is happening here in the
Yes.
community in Katy.
Yes.
When does the store open?
Yeah, we open Mondays to Saturday, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Then on Sundays, 11:30 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Awesome, awesome. What are the methods of payment that we can that can be utilized here? Because I
Yes.
have my card. Do you take card? Is it just card or cash?
Yeah,
Or?
we take every form of payment, cards, credit card, debit card, smart pay, whatever you have, we can take it.
Awesome. All right, let's ring this out.
Thank you so much. All right. Okay, paying with credit card? Oh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead. It's your PIN. Okay, accept. Or do you need print
Yes.
or email your okay? Yeah, thank you so much. Good to have you. Come back
Wow,
again.
this does work. Here's my receipt: one Vitamalt and one Doritos. Can't believe it. Excited. I'm gonna enjoy. I'm gonna go enjoy myself.
At TKP Food Mart, we have what you need whenever you need it.
There, you
Don't
heard it
come
all.
back.
You've heard it all. What you need whenever you need it. Wow, yes, I got my Vitamalt and Doritos. So excited. I'm going to enjoy this again. 11:30 today at the corner of East 5th Street and Drexel in Katy, Texas, 77493. We are excited that it's happening live here. Please join us at the TKP Food Mart. We have everything you want, whenever you want it, however you want it. God bless you so much. And I'm going to be taking you back to the studios where we're going to be reviewing the two books written by our own dear Mommy Coach, fondly called Mommy Coach, or Bumi Adeniro. Again, the TKP Food Mart happening here today, 11:30 at the corner of Drexel and East 5th Street. Welcome again. God bless you. See you in the studio.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Adishina. I'm part of the healthcare team here at the King's Palace. And today I have with me
Inyolua, intensive care nurse. Adesola, medical surgical nurse.
During our upcoming 17th year anniversary at the King's Palace, we are hosting a healthcare theme titled A Cough Can Save Your Life. Every year, thousands of people die from preventable diseases such as heart disease and hypertension. And this year, we're looking to donate blood pressure cuffs to families that cannot afford it. This year, we're looking for the brand called Omron, which you can see here. Please follow the instruction on the screen to be able to donate to the healthcare team, or also you can send a donation of $50 to the number above. Thank you very much. God bless you and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome from wherever you're watching from around the world. My name is Olademeji Oladele, and I'm your host here again on Arise. Today is a very special day because we're having the open mic segment. Yes, the open mic segment where anything goes. We talk about any and everything. Today, in particular, we're going to be reviewing two beautiful books. Purposeful Parenting, a guide to having healthy relationships with your adult children. And Purposeful Parenting, a guide to raising godly children. This book has been written by none other than our dear friend. She's a mother of four: Victoria, Sammy, Ayo, and Victor, and one beautiful, beautiful granddaughter, Rukewe, fondly called Ruki. She's married to an ex-footballer, still a footballer, actually coaches, played for the Nigerian Super Eagles way back in the day. Coach Ade, welcome with me in the studios today. A wonderful woman. The most important title she can ever have is a child of God. She is a child of God. Her name, fondly called Mommy Coach. Welcome with me today, Bumi Adeniro. Welcome, man.
Thank you very much. That introduction was out of this world.
You deserve it, Mommy Coach. You deserve it.
But thank you so
Awesome.
much, my brother. Thank you, thank you. My name is Bumi Adeniro, fondly called Mommy Coach.
Yes, yes. What's in your shirt?
Oh, well, my shirt says parenting coach. I'm a licensed and certified parenting coach.
Awesome.
Not that I'm a perfect parent though, but I'm licensed to teach parents how to raise godly children.
Awesome. And you've been in this parenting business for a long time. Okay. All right. So let's start. I've had the rare privilege of reading these books, and they're full of nuggets. I'm a parent myself with two beautiful children, Zoe and Zion. They're not quite adults, but they're somehow applicable. A lot of these things are applicable not only to adults, but to even young children.
Yes.
Because I believe if you start with the young ones with this nugget, it grows into, it grows up with them and your relationship with them. So I think this book is not only good for parents that have young adults or even adults, but parents with children as well.
Yes.
What was the inspiration behind this book? How did you all come about this book? What started this journey?
When I was a little bit younger, I always hear a man of God, Mike Murdoch, says, whatever you don't like is one of your calling. Whatever you don't like when you see it, it's probably your calling. I do not like wayward children. I do not like disobedient children. And I do not like children that don't appreciate their parents or their spiritual parents or their father or their mother. It just irritates me from my being. So I started asking God, why do I get bothered about somebody's child? What's my problem? And the Lord said, because I want you to help people raise their children. I thought I was called to mothers. So I started praying mother ministry and we do prayers. But even when I start praying, I'm going to start teaching about how to be a parent. And I was supposed to be praying. So I realized, oh, maybe that is my calling. So that is my number one inspiration for the first book.
Awesome. And speaking of the first book, let's delve into it. So, Purposeful Parenting: A Guide to Raising Godly Children. I enjoyed reading this book, and in I believe it's chapter 7. The title of that chapter is Mind Games. And one of the things you said there, if I remember clearly, says, don't use your children against your husband. In other words, wives, don't use your children against your husband, and don't allow your husband to use them against you. Mommy Coach, sometimes we unknowingly do that, right? Especially when we have favorites, right? Like we have children and there's one of them they're all unique in their own ways, but sometimes unknowingly we tilt towards one than the other. How can we as parents avoid falling into that trap where we use our children as baits against the other, spouses?
If I remember correctly, that chapter 7 that says mind game, my focus on it was not that maybe one child is favorite. No, my focus is we allowing our children to dictate how we relate with our spouse. For example, I can only use my life. There was a time one of my boys were misbehaving in school. Nothing extraordinary, no drugs, no gang, nothing like that, just talking back when the teacher talks. And of course, I talk a lot, and my husband doesn't talk, so I'm like, okay, what's the big deal?
You got it from you, Mommy Coach.
I know, I ain't lying. He got it from me. So I was like, okay, what's the big deal? He talks, just tell him to shut up. But then my husband, one day, he did it again, and my husband scolded him real bad, and he responded in a nasty way. And my husband grabbed him into the bedroom and whooped him big time. And when he came out, the mother in me, and I'm telling these stories for mothers that one probably are thinking I'm a perfect mother. No. And the mother in me rose up, and I told my husband, do you want to kill him? And the boy was there. And as soon as I said it, thank God for Holy Spirit. Because you said the most important part of one's life is being a child of God.
Yep.
Because that is when he will talk to you. And I heard the Holy Spirit say, you will lose this boy if you go this route. And I quickly, but I had already said something anyway, so I quickly grabbed myself and said, why did you do that to your daddy? And turned to the boy. And the boy said, boy, you were going to tell daddy daddy was wrong.
Aha. Aha.
And that is where I come in. Don't let, even if your husband or your wife has done the worst unthinkable thing, don't let your children know about it. Because the way, I don't know, I don't want to say God, but the way children are wired, they're wired to be manipulative. You could tell, if you want to give my grandbaby something she don't want to eat, that girl, she's only 10 months, she will spit it, she will almost spit it to your face. So children knows how to manipulate. Don't allow your children to know that you don't approve daddy's parenting style
Or mommy's
parenting style. That is why the bedroom is undefiled. Things like that are supposed to be ironed out in the bedroom. When you get to the bedroom, call your husband to order, call your wife. That punishment didn't match the offense. And don't tell your husband or your wife you're stupid for doing that, because you're creating rapport in the family. Just tell him that or her, that offense did not match that punishment. Can we go a different route?
See, Coach, that's why I said this book is not just for raising adult children. It's really for raising godly children. Like 1 year old, 2 years old, 3, 4, 5, up to 30. You're never, I mean, even if you're 60 years, as long as you have a parent, you are still a child. So I really enjoy that nugget. You know, chapter 3 of that same book says, gearing your child towards destiny. And, you know, I'm particularly interested in this because a lot of us, you know, for example, you know, I like the fact that you're using your life as an example, right? Your son plays sports, like two sons play professional soccer or football, like some people call it, just like your husband did and still does anyways, in a coaching capacity. You know, how can we gear our children towards destiny when sometimes we want them to follow either a certain path? Like, I want to be a doctor. I want my child to be a doctor because I'm a doctor. I want my child to be a football player because I'm a football player. Or my child wants to be a social worker, a missionary, but then I want him to be a doctor. Those are two conflicting things, and we see that so often in not only African community, but it's in every culture.
Really?
Yeah, it's in every culture. Growing up, I had friends in college that the parents wanted them to be stockbrokers, and they didn't want to. They just wanted to be missionaries, right? And so there was a lot of fuss between the father, the mother, and the children, and these things actually tear homes apart.
Yes.
What would you say, given the fact that you've lived that type of story, where your children, at least two of them, are taking, you know, following the same footsteps like their father did? What advice would you have for parents that fall in that category?
Thank you, Dimeji. The first chapter of this book talk about being a believer. For every woman that conceives a child or adopts a child, God must have spoken to you about that child. I tell people, if you carry a baby in your womb and God never told you anything about that child, then you don't know God. It is not bragging. Nobody really knows God. Like, I got the God like in the palm of my hand. No,
he's a speed
nobody.
dial.
But he's not a speed dial. You can't remote God. But God is so awesome that he talks to us if we care to listen. When you conceive a child, one way or the other, let's look at the Bible. There are two babies in the womb, and the woman was worried. Why is she troubled? Is it Jacob and Esau? Even Esau and Abel and the other brother.
Cain and Abel.
Abel. They were brothers, and the mother already knew what path each one wanted to go. And then you talk about Jacob and the brother that were twins. And the Lord told the mother, because you have two nations in your belly. One way or the other, God must have spoken. Manoah, the mother of Samuel, God spoke to her even before she conceived. So God does speak. Maybe not coming down like in the time of Manoah's wife, like, I am thy God, your Lord. But if you have a relationship, he will talk to you. And God must have put something in your heart to tell you that this child is going to go this route. As a parent, we have tendency to want to change that route.
Is anything wrong with that?
Yes, there is a lot wrong with that, because everybody is created for a purpose. If you distract or you derail that purpose, you will change that child's course. In my generation, maybe not in, well, your generation too, but not in this current Gen Z children or Gen Alpha or whatever they call themselves. You can change them. But in my generation, everybody wanted their children to be either lawyer, doctor, or engineer.
Yep.
Engineer wasn't even popular until a few years later when Shell came to Nigeria and all the oil company came. Then everybody wanted their children to be engineer. As a mother or as a parent, especially mothers, and I talk to mothers a lot, because the Bible says a wise woman builded her home. So the honors of building a good home is on a mother. Please don't get upset. I didn't write the Bible, but that's what the Bible says. It's on the mother, because from the day you pop out that child, you're closer to that child than your husband. It gets to an age that daddy gets close. Start studying your child. Start seeing what your child has passion for. Start seeing what your child is geared towards. If you have a child that is always dismantling the TV, everything, then you know this guy might be going towards engineering or something, or construction or whatever. Then don't say, God forbid, in my family everybody is a doctor, every first one is a lawyer. No, it's very dangerous for the child. I'll tell you a true story. Here in Houston, there was a guy that wanted to do IT. May his soul rest in peace now, though. And the parents pushed him and pushed him. I think they pushed him to go and do medicine. He finished the medicine and gave the certificate to the dad and said, Dad, I have satisfied you. This is my medical certificate. Now, can I go study IT?
Wow.
So after he wasted 6 years to study medicine, and you know what? The first job he nailed as an IT tech doubled a doctor's money, because that is what he liked. That is probably what God created him. Don't push your children to do what you don't want to do, or what you were not able to do, and you wanted it to be in your family. I wanted to be a doctor. I couldn't be a doctor. So there was a time I was kind of like cajoling my children to see, is anybody going to be a doctor? And one of my sons said, you better get off that iron, because nobody likes medicine in this house. So I did try it too, so you don't think I'm bashing mothers. I did try to say, why don't you be a doctor? You're very compassionate. I said, no, I don't want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. And the ones that play football, we let them do basketball. One of them did actually American football. After he tore a muscle, he came back home. But we let them try it. Let them be who they want to be. But most importantly, know your God and make sure you introduce your children to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Awesome.
Not the God of redeem, not the God of winners, not the God that you call, but the main God, so that they don't derail after.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Mommy Coach. Hey, we're going to take a short break and we'll be back shortly. But before we do that, again, we are on open mic reviewing with Bumi Adeniro, fondly called Mommy Coach, here at the King's Palace. We're reviewing two of her wonderful books, Purposeful Parenting, A Guide to Raising Godly Children, and Purposeful Parenting, A Guide to Having Healthy Relationships with Your Adult Children. We've spent the past few minutes talking about A Guide to Raising Godly Children. I think one thing that really struck me the most is the fact that you said you need to hear from God, especially mothers and fathers, right? You need to hear from God to know what direction God wants your children to go, and steer your children towards God's purpose for their life, not what your purpose is, but God's purpose for their life. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back reviewing these two beautiful and wonderful books. I'll tell you where to get them. Stay with us and we'll be right back. Welcome back, viewers. We're discussing purposeful parenting, a guide to having healthy relationship with your adult children, and a guide to having or raising godly children. Mommy Coach, this other book, A Guide to Raising Healthy Relationship with Adult Children. I don't have adult children, by the way, but I believe this is applicable to most, if not all, children as they begin to understand life. If we look at chapter 2 of this book, I'm particularly interested in chapter 2, understanding the times we're in and the effects of children. You have 4 grown adults and 1 grandchild. You know, how do you handle the fact that they just want to be adults, especially in this generation?
Thank you very much, my brother. I believe this dispensation, children comes with computer chips. That's the only way I can only blame technology. Because my times, when your parents say, go that door, you don't have the boldness to say no. We were not raised to say no. For this generation, even before you suggest go that door, they already tell you, Mommy, don't suggest because I'm not going there.
Are they all wrong all the time?
It has advantages and it has disadvantages. In a situation where your child knows the Lord, then that is perfect. In a situation where your child or your children have relationship with the God of heaven, that is perfect, because then you believe he speaks to them. Despite that, though, as a parent, you need to still be part of it a little bit, because sometimes we get carried away. So I have had situations that my children wanted to go one route, and I knew deep inside me it was not the right route. But I had to respect them and said, okay, if that's how you want to go, okay, the Lord will help you. Then what did I do? I made a U-turn, I went on my knees, and that particular thing, I prayed on it for 2 full years. Before that, my child could come back.
Wow, sometimes it takes that long.
I never told that child don't.
Wow.
I never told that child do. But I stayed. I didn't even discuss much with my husband about it, because my husband is okay with that decision. But I know in the depth of my being that it was a wrong decision. And all I did was, you just have to pray. Because if you force your child, then you will have a rebellious adult. And you will have an adult that you can't counsel anymore. Because it will be like, you just want to impose what you want on me. You just want to control my life. So as a parent, let them be adults, but guide. And when you suggest and they don't listen, this works.
You settle it on your knees.
But you yourself must establish that you know the Lord.
Awesome.
Because if you're going to tell your child, I don't think this is God's way, that child might look back at you and say, which God? The God that you, the parent, didn't demonstrate for them? So we as parents demonstrate godly character, so that when we say we hear God, they will believe us that we heard God.
Awesome, Mommy Coach. We're just right about to begin the first service. Let's go to chapter 5 of that book, another favorite chapter of mine. It says, respecting your child's independence in marriage. You have a grandchild, Rookie, and that means your children are married. What can you say if your child wants to remain, or what do you have to say if your child wants to remain in a certain way in marriage, and you know that it's wrong? I think you partly answered the question by saying go down on your knees, but what other things can you do other than praying when your child that is in marriage or in a relationship close to marriage and courtship, and you know this person is heading possibly a wrong way, right, which will eventually could negatively affect the person's spouse and or children, which again, if it affects them, it affects you as a parent.
Definitely.
What do you have to say besides just going down to pray?
When you build, thank you for that question, actually. If you build a relationship with your child from childhood, opening up to tell them something will not be difficult. But a child that you don't have a relationship with when they were young, you were busy living life, they were busy raising themselves, it's going to be hard for you to tell them don't go that route. But if you have built a relationship with your child from childhood, you talk, you encourage. Once your child becomes a married woman or a married man, then they become your friend. That's when they are supposed to become your friend, not when they're teenagers. When they become your friend, how do you advise your friend? Hey, this thing that you want to do, I know your heart is bent on it, but can you just take time to pray and think about it? It happened to me many times with my children. I'm like, I know that is what you want to do, but I would encourage you to pray and take time to think. And if you don't mind, can I tell you why I think it's wrong? I've never had a child tell me, no, don't tell me. But in case I have one that is planning to say, no, don't tell me, I would tell him, you know what? I'm your mother. When you're hurting, all I can do is pray.
Correct.
So open up with your children from childhood. Don't wait until they're grown-ups. By the time they're grown-ups, they already have counselors outside. By the time they're grown-up, they already have advisors outside. So build a relationship from childhood. Be there for them. Give them attention. Give them time. Don't not buy them stuff. Give them time. Dedicate your time to raising your children so that when they become adults, they'll open up to you.
Awesome.
They'll talk to you and they will listen to you. Tell your children your failures. Tell your children your mistakes. Don't paint a picture of a perfect mother because they are not fools.
They see.
If you paint a picture of a perfect mother, they'll know you're lying.
Or father.
Oh, father. Yeah, they'll know you're lying. So whatever you tell them, they'll be like, my dad said, are you listening to me?
Hey, Mommy Coach, we're running out of time here. And, for this other book, I like what you said. Beyond praying, have a relationship with your child. Communication. Communicate, be patient with them, communicate, pray with them. And a lot of other nuggets that are in these books. Amazing. You need to get one copy. I've been blessed. Mommy Coach has given me this. I'm not giving it to you. So buy your copy. That leads me to the final question. Where can we get these books to buy?
It is, and if you want to support us or you are looking to adopt a child or you know a child that the parents just passed, just give us a call. You can call the same number for the book. That is what we do. We support the blind, the deaf, and the orphans.
Awesome.
That's what we do.
God bless you so much for reaching out to the community. Again, join us for the first service. We love you so much. Don't forget to subscribe on all our YouTube.
Yes.
So all the social media platforms, YouTube, Twitter, every social media platform,
Instagram.
Instagram, whatever it is you're watching us from. God bless you so much. Again, this is Open Mic, the Mediola Daily with Bumi Adeniro, reviewing 2 of her books. God bless you. We'll see you soon.